Shana Tova. If you are anything like me, you are deeply unsettled by questions that cannot be answered. I find the most persistent of these questions to be space. What is space? Modern science tells us that we live on a floating rock, orbiting a ball of fire, among countless other rocks and fireballs, all of it spinning through a vast, expanding silence, and yet we don't really know what space is. We only know it is enormous and mostly hidden. Yet still, we reach. Just this past week, NASA announced its newest class of astronaut candidates, 10 individuals who will train for 2 years before launching into the unknown. What drives someone to launch into the silence? Perhaps the same thing that drives us here in this moment between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. We begin the new year, 5786, with no guarantees and no clear answers. It's a spiritual version of silence and space. This week's Torah portion, Vayelech, lives in that same realm of uncertainty. Moses is 120 years old, and his journey is ending. He appoints Joshua as his successor and affirms the moral and political foundations that will sustain the people once he is gone. And then God says to Moses, "The people will rise up. They will abandon me and break the covenant. I will hide my face from them, and many troubles will find them. And they will say, 'Isn't this happening because God is no longer with us?' And God repeats, 'I will surely hide my face on that day.'" Haster astir panai. I find it to be one of the most theologically haunting phrases in the Torah. God is hidden, present but invisible, near but silent. This isn't divine punishment in the simple sense, it's a spiritual consequence. For when we turn away, the world begins to feel empty. Empty not because we have lost something physical, but because we've stopped noticing what was always there, allowing things to fade. Jewish tradition teaches that at the moment of creation, God made a radiant light. It's known as organuz, the hidden light, which shone for just 36 hours before being concealed, too powerful for the world as it was. Mystical teachings say that light still exists amongst the cosmos, waiting to be found again. Ours is a tradition of hidden things, sacred truths that don't vanish but slip from view when the world grows too loud. Like God's face in Vayelech, hidden only after we have turned away. I'll admit on a personal level, there are many times, perhaps more than I'd actually like to admit, on a regular basis that I turn away, choosing distraction over attention or comfort over truth. But this season challenges me to look again. The world can feel hollow, making us feel the need to stop searching. Yet sometimes what we stop searching for is truth itself, especially truths that ask us to confront not only our inner selves, but the world around us. And this is where spiritual discomfort begins to set in. Because sometimes the truths we most resist are the ones that implicate us all. I've often heard it said, and I've even said it myself, let's keep politics out of sermons. Let this be a place for peace, prayer, and spiritual calm. But sometimes what we call spiritual calm is not calm at all. It's quiet avoidance, a way of looking away even as the world cries out. And that kind of silence is the very opposite of our tradition. When we pray for peace, we are rejecting violence. When we plead for compassion, we are resisting cruelty. When we call God ruler of the universe, we are making a claim about what power should look like. So the real question isn't whether prayer is political. The question is, does our prayer disturb us enough to change us? Does it make us uncomfortable enough to act? Perhaps this is why we sound the shofar. It pierces the silence to remind us to wake up, return, and look again. The world is filled with uncertainty, and still we reach. But we are not alone in reaching into the void. Humanity continues to search for hidden truths in the vast unknown. Since its launch in 2021, the Webb Space Telescope has begun revealing light from the earliest moments of the universe. Using infrared technology, it can detect light too old for any telescope before it, peering back over 13 billion years and capturing glimpses of the first stars and galaxies emerging from the darkness. Perhaps it will even catch a glimpse of a long-hidden light. I'd like to begin this new year with the reminder that even though it may feel as if we are sitting in times of darkness, the light remains waiting to be found. May 5786 be a year of illumination. May we search for hidden light, not only in the heavens, but within one another. May we have the strength to reach out when caught in the unsettling and sometimes numbing silence of space. And may we remember that our task down on earth remains to return. Gemar Chatima Tova. May you be inscribed in the book of life.